Welcome back to Reason and Theology. Your host, Michael Lofton, on a Thursday afternoon, joined by another YouTuber here, Jose Plasencia, from the channel La Fe de la Iglesia. It's a Spanish apologetics channel. Welcome to the show, Jose. How are you, sir?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for having me. And I'm just, hoping to do a good job with the translation needs.
I'm sure you will. And I was looking at the channel. It looks really, really professional. By the way, I put a link to it there in the show notes. So y'all go and check it out. Hit the subscribe button. So tell me first a little bit about yourself before we dive into the videos that we're going to review. One of these videos is a bishop who's being denied access to his church. And he's a Catholic bishop in Nicaragua. And then we also have a priest who's also being denied. But first, tell me a little bit about yourself before we talk about the video specifically.
Okay, so I grew up as a cradle Catholic. I received all the initiation sacraments, baptism, my first communion, confirmation, and then during my teen years, things fell apart. I became a rebellious teenager, just doing my own thing, and so I would say that my formation as a Catholic was not the strongest one.
Yeah.
And to make a long story short, I became a Protestant. I became a Baptist, and it was a good experience in the sense that they were a very nice community, very friendly. By the way, I became a Baptist through one of my best friends. Oh. So they treated me very nice. Everything was great, community wise.
Sure.
And fellowship wise, but I didn't know much about the Catholic faith. I didn't know the differences, but I just decided to stay as a Baptist, which I did for 20 years. Eventually I became I was helping everywhere, like cleaning, taking care of the maintenance of the building, and then I was an aide for one of the teens teachers on Sunday school class. Then eventually, little by little, I'm just going through the years. I was preaching here and there. Eventually I became an assistant of the pastor, and then eventually I'm just jumping many years. I was a missionary, and so when I was at Southern Baptist Theological Seminary in Louisville, Kentucky, I was already studying Catholicism, but not because I wanted to convert. I wanted to be ready to totally destroy Catholicism.
Right.
Yeah, and in the process of doing so, I just realized that as much as I love to be Protestant and I wanted to continue being a Protestant, I couldn't. In good conscience, I just couldn't continue being a Protestant. And eventually even though, as I said, I grew up as a cradle Catholic, for me, truly was a conversion of mind, heart, because at that point, I really had a very Protestant soul. And so it was, I counted as a conversion, even though technically I know it's more like a reversion.
Yeah.
But in 2016 in Louisville, Kentucky, I quit my seminary at Southern Baptist to become a Catholic. And since then, little by little, I've been trying to do some apologetics. And as you said, I do have a channel in English would translate as the faith of the church, the faith of the church. So that's what I'm doing. Well, there's many things I could say, but for the sake of time, I'll leave it there.
That's awesome. And, I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say that they started looking into Catholicism to refute it and end up becoming Catholics.
Yeah. I just didn't know where I was getting into.
I think that's true for all of us who started to look into Catholicism. So, all right, well, let's talk about this first video. Let me pull it up on my screen. Enable audio, and let's talk about this. Do you have any information about this bishop? I saw this video. It was maybe 3 weeks or so ago. Started going viral on Facebook, but obviously I don't know Spanish, so I didn't really know a whole lot that was going on. I asked my wife about it, and she said, "Oh well, he wasn't being allowed into the church or something to that effect." But I haven't really been able to look further into it. Do you have any information about what's going on here?
Yeah, well, as far as the bishop himself, I don't have information as far as his personal background. I mean,
Mhm.
meaning his career
Mhm.
in the church as a prelate.
Mhm.
I the same as you just said. I
Mhm.
also got the news about the situation in Nicaragua. I know he was not being allowed to get into the church,
Mhm.
and I think he just decided to kneel.
Mm.
I don't know all the details.
Mm.
I've been trying to keep up. I have some friends in Nicaragua, and they share some pieces of information.
Mhm.
I just at this point, as pretty much everybody knows, they are just trying to repress altogether the Catholic Church. It seems like that's the actual goal.
Do we know his name by any chance? I'm trying to look
Yeah.
through
Well, let me see here real quick.
Archbishop of Matagalepa, I guess is what it says in Spanish in the
It's
description. I'll share my screen. Um,
yeah.
well,
Well,
some,
according to the information I just found,
Mhm.
his name
Mhm.
is Rolando Alvarez,
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
and he's the bishop of. Let me see. I want to get the pronunciation right. Yeah, Matagalpa,
Mhm.
Matagalpa,
Mhm.
and yeah. So
In the
the
north
bishop's
of
name is Rolando Alvarez.
Nicaragua, I guess is what it says here.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, and I've seen multiple videos of him, by the way. So it seems like this is kind of an ongoing thing. So what's going on with the government in Nicaragua that you have prelates not being allowed into their churches? Any information there?
Well, it seems like, as you might imagine, is related with the communist influence of the government. The government. I found an article here about the situation. It says Nicaraguan police on Friday raided the residence of Roman Catholic bishop, critical. Apparently, he was being critical of the communist government.
Okay.
Says critical of President Daniel Ortega's administration, detaining him and several other priests. So it was not just the bishop, but some other priests in a dramatic escalation of tensions between the church and a government increasingly intolerant of the Catholic Church.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's a bit of the background.
Oof.
Um,
Let me share the video and let's watch it together here. Maybe if you could do
yeah.
some translation for us if there is any needed. Let's start it now. Let me know, by the way, if you can't hear the audio when I start it.
Después de 16 días de cerco policial, las fuerzas de seguridad irrumpieron en las instalaciones de la Curia Arzobispal de Matagalpa, en el norte de Nicaragua.
All right, so I'll stop there if you could just briefly translate that. Maybe
Yeah, it
just a
seems
summary,
like it seems like before they actually arrested the bishop, they were being for 16 days. So for 16 days, they were like, it seems like for 16 days they were not allowing the bishop to perform,
Wow.
yeah, his functions as a bishop, and I think that will entail the actual worship. So for 16 days, and after that, they decided to just get inside of the
Mhm.
building and make the arrest.
Oh, wow. So they went ahead and arrested him. Okay, let's continue with the video.
Para arrestar al obispo Rolando Álvarez, así como a 4 sacerdotes y 3 laicos que acompañaban al religioso.
All right, so what was the summary there?
Once they got in, they arrested the bishop, 4
Mhm.
priests, and 3 laymen.
Oh, wow. So They're arresting even some of the laity. Okay, all right.
La madrugada de hoy, viernes 19 de agosto, se realizó en las instalaciones de la Casa Curia de la ciudad de Matagalpa un operativo que permitió recuperar la normalidad para la ciudadanía y las familias matagalpinas.
All right, so not, synopsis maybe of that part for us.
Yeah, and it seems like the people reporting on this particular channel,
Mhm.
it seems like probably they had the government's version.
Okay,
because
yeah.
they picture the policemen as rescuing the community from the from the tensions caused by this quote unquote evil bishop and priest, I guess.
Oh wow, okay. No bias there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue.
La institución informó que trasladaron al obispo de Matagalpa a la capital Managua para dejarlo bajo resguardo domiciliar.
Mhm.
So he was immediately moved from Matagalpa in North Nicaragua to the capital city. I totally I missed the name of and I should know the capital of Nicaragua, Managua. So he was moved from Matagalpa in northern Nicaragua to Managua, to the capital city, and he is not in jail or prison. He is under he's being he's at home, so they assign a residence for the bishop, but he's being
just monitored.
Yeah, there's, I think that means there are a couple of agents taking care of him. I don't know if I should say taking care of him.
Right, but just, monitoring him.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Mientras que las otras 7 personas fueron trasladadas a la prisión con
Well, I recognize the alto sign. Recently driving in Costa Rica. That's about the only thing I recognize here.
resguardo domiciliar. Mientras que las otras 7 personas fueron trasladadas a la prisión conocida como el Chipote.
Por ejemplo,
Yeah, so he's home, I guess, I don't know if I can say homebound, the bishop, and the other people, I guess that means the priest and the layman. They went to, I think they didn't clarify it, but it sounds like they went to some sort of jail. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
7 personas fueron trasladadas a la prisión conocida como el Chipote.
por ejemplo, a Monseñor Orlando Álvarez lo han tildado de político disfrazado con sotana.
So this was the bishop of one of the bishops in Costa Rica?
Yes. Yeah, he's Monsignor Manuel Salazar, bishop in Costa Rica, and he's saying that the bishop of Matagalpa in Nicaragua is being portrayed as a political, I guess, protester against the president. By the way, they did mention that the priests and the laymen, when they were sent to prison, so they are on a actual prison. The only one that is not in prison would be the bishop of Matagalpa in Nicaragua.
Oh, wow. And where is he? What part of Costa Rica is he a bishop of? I'm trying to see.
It doesn't specify.
It doesn't specify there.
I would say San Jose, which is the capital city of Costa Rica. Of course, I could be wrong, but usually the bishop of San Jose is the one that would take the lead in these kind of
that
communications.
Yeah. Right. That makes sense. Okay. All right. Let's continue here.
Político disfrazado con sotana.
Las conferencias episcopales de América Latina y el Caribe han rechazado las acciones contra el obispo Álvarez.
La iglesia es perseguida porque, dice el Papa Francisco, la verdad siempre es perseguida.
Yeah, they mentioned that the conferences of bishops in the Caribbean, and I think they said Central America, they have denounced what has happened with the bishop. And also, Monsignor just said that, as Pope Francis says, truth will always be persecuted.
El secretario general de la OEA y el máximo representante de las Naciones Unidas mostraron su preocupación ante la acción gubernamental. En los últimos 4 años, el presidente Daniel Ortega ha acusado a los obispos de conspirar junto a Estados Unidos y la oposición para asestar un golpe de Estado contra su administración.
They mentioned that the Secretary of the United Nations showed his concern about the political situation in Nicaragua.
Okay.
Donaldo Hernández, Voz de América.
I guess that was just who was reporting. Okay. All right. Wow. That's interesting. Like I said, I've seen multiple videos with him being denied access to his church. I didn't know he was actually arrested. He and it sounds like you said 4 other priests and some laity.
Yes, 4 priests and 3 laymen. And I think the 16 days prior to the arrest, that's when he was kneeling outside. And I think at one point, if I recall well, he even had a demonstrance with the Most Holy Sacrament. He was in adoration. If I recall well, I think I saw a video where he's in the presence of Jesus Christ in the Most Holy Sacrament.
This is crazy. I mean, is there any idea on how this thing is going to end up? So he's just not going to be allowed into his cathedral, and he's just going to hang out at the house. And I mean, how long is that going to work out? You know?
Yeah, this is a political situation. I mean, meaning the government is a situation with the type of government in Nicaragua. Usually those things, the way are dealt with is diplomatic, when they come to the table and they come to an agreement. When things don't work in the diplomatic way, things can get worse.
Yeah. Let me show another video here. If you could translate this one for me. I watched it, but of course I'm going to need some assistance here. So this is also another priest in Nicaragua who evidently is also not being allowed to enter into his church to say mass. So let's watch it together. Well, hold on, wait. I think I may have had it muted. Let me rewind that. Can you hear that?
Yes.
What is he saying so far?
Yeah, the priest is inviting the people to come to the house of the Lord to offer a mass, Thanksgiving. He mentioned the word Thanksgiving. Let's thank the Lord and come. And then, as you can see, the officers are denying access.
All right, okay.
Y el que manda usted.
All right, what's he saying here? Because this translation doesn't look like it's really accurate. It looks like it's Google Translate.
Yeah. Well, so Father told the officers, "What you guys are doing is delinquent. You guys are acting as delinquents.
Right.
This is not the right thing to do. You guys are not fulfilling your duty." Then the lady before that, she mentioned, "This is the house of the Lord. You guys have no authority. Is Father the one who has the authority in this place?"
Yeah, and could you imagine? I mean, I guess being a police officer in this context, I mean, you're told to go and bar this priest from entering into how could one in good conscience do that? What are you supposed to do? However, the resign, it puts them in a difficult situation. But I think that at the end of the day, yeah, you probably have to resign. But does that mean that you might go to jail if you do that? If you don't comply with what the government is telling you to do, you might go to jail. I imagine they're in a difficult situation here. I'm not excusing them by any means. I'm just trying to think, if I were a Catholic and I were a police officer and I'm being told you have to bar this priest, that's going to be a rough one, because I guess if you don't listen, you're going to go to jail. But sometimes that's what it is. I mean, you just need to go to jail at that point.
Yeah, just if they are willing to repress
Yeah.
this the Catholic Church,
Yeah.
in spite of all the good things they have done,
Yeah.
if that can happen to the Catholic Church, so to speak,
Yeah.
we just can't. We just can't imagine what can happen to those officers.
Oh,
if
yeah.
they-
I can imagine. But sometimes that's what we're called to do.
Yes.
I couldn't in good conscience tell the priest, no, you can't enter here. I would either resign, and if the consequences are that, I go to jail, it is what it is, and I'm going to have to go to jail.
Also, I've heard, and I don't know to what extent this can be a factor, but I've heard that in the last 50 years, the Nicaraguan society has been split because of the incursion of the neo evangelical groups.
Mhm.
So somebody told me that right now they have gotten to a point where it's almost like half and half of the country.
Mhm.
You have Protestant and Catholic, and
Mhm.
that has also affected the relations in the country.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Así le decimos, padre, que nosotros venimos a darle una acción de gracia de una familia.
All right. So what were they saying there? Something about a dictator?
Yeah, father said that this is a dictatorship. He just plainly said it. This is a dictatorship, and the ladies, they're just saying, we just want to be in mass. We want to give thanks to God. Like they are like perplexed. It's you can tell they're very perplexed because what they are saying is just they are not making like a huge argument. They're just saying we just want to go in and be in mass and give thanks to God. What's going on? You can tell they are very, very perplexed.
Okay. So somebody in the background saying something, and then Father starts speaking.
Yes, I was trying to discern what the person on the background saying. I think I heard the word thief.
Okay.
I don't know if that was in reference to maybe not. I was I was gonna say
Yeah.
I don't know if that was in reference to the president or the priest, but I'm not sure. Yeah.
Okay. And what did Father say there?
Well, it was not understandable what he said.
Okay. That's a lot of police officers just for a few people that are trying to go to the liturgy. That's incredible. I mean, I'm just thinking, wow, a lot of resources to really lock out some Catholics here.
Una Eucaristía. Se nos está negando el derecho al culto que tenemos los nicaragüenses.
Okay. At this point, so what Father is doing, he's talking not anymore to the officers, but he's talking to the people, to his people. And he's saying, this is a religious persecution. We're being denied access to the sacraments, to the Eucharist, the body of Christ. It seems like he's trying to, because as I said, the ladies, the people, they don't know what's going on. And I mean it I mean, they know this is repression, and but they don't understand what is it that is behind what's going on. And Father is like trying to explain to them what the situation is. He's saying this is a religious persecution. You guys are being denied access to the sacraments and to the Eucharist.
Wow.
Como lo dice la Constitución, que hoy en día es una Constitución que está amañada, es una misa la que vamos a celebrar a esta hora 3 de la tarde. Que sepa el mundo que se está negando celebrar una Eucaristía.
Let the world know that Nicaraguans are being denied to partake of the Eucharist.
Wow.
No tenemos derecho a hacer el culto en Nicaragua. Aquí está, lo puede ver el mundo entero. Se nos niega el derecho a una Eucaristía.
We're being denied of our rights. We do have a right to worship God, to partake of the sacraments, and we're being denied. So he's like teaching people that their rights are being violated.
Okay.
Así que ante los medios de comunicación, ante el mundo, exijo que estos fieles ingresen al templo de San Miguel de Masaya para que se celebre la misa.
It seems like the person in the background, I'm not sure, but it seems like the person is yelling at Father. He's saying that you're engaging in politics.
Okay.
So it seems like the government is being repressive, and priests are starting to talk about it, and people just don't like that. They want just the Catholic Church to remain totally silent.
Yeah, and accusing him of just engaging in a political stunt here.
Así que por favor, pueden gritar conmigo. Si ustedes me golpean, estoy dispuesto a que me golpeen. Si me van a disparar, háganlo. No le tengo miedo.
Could you make out what he is saying there? Yes, he's saying that he's willing to suffer. He's willing. He's saying, if you guys want to beat me, if you guys want to do anything to me, it doesn't really matter. I am willing to. I'm willing to do everything. He's saying, I'm not going anywhere. And here I am. Here I stand.
Do we know the name of this priest by any chance?
I didn't catch it.
Yeah. Let's see if we can maybe find out here in a minute.
Comisionado Barrante, ¿cuál es la orden, comisionado?
Nadie le levante el brazo a estos oficiales orteguistas. Van a entrar.
Oh, that was interesting. Father is saying he's instructing the people, don't do anything to these officers. Don't do anything. Don't touch them. Don't fight with them. Yeah.
Comisionado, ¿no se le va a permitir a los feligreses entrar a la iglesia?
No, padre, mejor no es por todo, pero no le vamos a exponer a usted. Muchísimas gracias por el pueblo. Nosotros somos conscientes de que aquí no hay respeto ni para usted, ni para los ciudadanos, ni para los niños, ni para los ancianos, no hay respeto.
Okay, so at that point, Father he was like getting ready to just go in, and it seems like some of the faithful are trying to persuade Father to just let it go. So it seems like Father is like willing to go in no matter what. And then I heard a couple of ladies saying, "No, don't do it, Father. It's not worth it. We are aware of what's going on here." Yeah, so that's the situation.
Vamos a rezar aquí una pequeña oración. En nombre del Padre, del Hijo y del Espíritu Santo. En vista que se nos impide una Eucaristía.
Could you make that out?
Yeah, so it seems like the ladies persuaded Father not to go in, and it seems like Father pretty much considered. He's like, okay, let's just pray here outside. Let's pray so we can have access to the Eucharist.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna have to start saying liturgy in house churches and stuff like that at this point.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's already taking place.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that would be necessary for the bishop to just say, look, go ahead and for instruct his priest to just go ahead and start saying liturgies, in different homes and things like that. So I know that's the Hail Mary.
Yes.
I can make that out.
And it seems like they're now everything's matching. Remember the guy in the background, like yelling? It seems like they are like laymen, but they are not Catholic, because something was going. I don't know if you saw it. Something was going on, and I heard a lady saying, "Don't let them provoke you. Don't let them provoke you." So it seems like, I don't know, they were sent. I don't know the details, but there's some laymen trying to provoke the
trying to
faithful.
stir it up, right? That would make sense. Okay.
Te pedimos, Señor, en esta hora de la divina misericordia por el mundo entero. Te pedimos, Señor, por Nicaragua, por la democracia que desea este pueblo, por su libertad. Te pedimos que tenga misericordia en todos nosotros, misericordia de toda esta gente, Señor, de todas estas personas que malgobiernan a este país, que somos víctimas de una dictadura. Un Señor que desatas,
Can you make out any of that?
Yes, well, Father's praying. He's asking God for all the people that are participating in this persecution. He's praying for the authorities. And almost at the end, there was a guy like screaming. I can tell that person is anti-Catholic, because he said the Catholic Church is the worst, something along the lines of the worst abuser in the world.
Okay, gotcha.
Very anti-Catholic.
Right. Sure.
Reprime a todo el demonio, a todos los demonios que están gobernando a Nicaragua. Sabemos que el mal no puede prevalecer sobre el bien.
We know that evil cannot prevail against good.
Y la bendición de Dios Todopoderoso, Padre Espíritu Santo, descienda sobre ustedes, permanezca para siempre, que esa bendición le alcance a cada uno,
a todos, para ustedes también.
¡Viva Cristo Rey! ¡Viva! ¿Quién causa tanta alegría?
La Concepción de María.
¡Viva San Miguel!
¡Viva!
¡Viva Cristo Rey! ¡Viva Nicaragua libre!
¡Viva Nicaragua libre!
I heard Saint Michael in there.
Yeah,
I caught that part. Yeah,
he's using the Cristero, the long live to Christ the King, long live to Nicaragua. And then he asked the faithful, what is it that causes a great joy? And people responded, the Immaculate Conception of the Virgin Mary. And then he said again, long live to Christ the King.
Wow. Like I said, I want to see if we can maybe find out who this is. Trying to see here in the description, it's not really giving anything specific from what I can tell. I guess this is just the person who posted it. This is not actually the name of the priest. So yeah, it doesn't look like they give any more specifics here, unfortunately. I don't know if anybody in the chat is able to identify who the priest is or where this is specifically, but it would be good to have some names, some locations and stuff like that, and people that we can know to specifically pray for and things along those lines. But it just really seems like this stuff keeps popping up now on Facebook. Like it's really ramping up. That's the impression that I'm getting.
Yes, and hopefully things don't get worse. But if things continue the way they are, perhaps if you think fit, I have some people that can provide for me some first-hand information. Eventually, if that's the best, we can actually.
I'm up for it. Let's do it. Any kind of information that you can get to follow up on this to kind of keep us up to date, that'd be helpful, because I don't know anybody talking about this. I haven't seen anybody address this. But then again, I don't know everything that's out there, right? So it could be that people are talking about this. It's just I haven't come across it. All I have come across are some of these clips on Facebook showing this, but it's all in Spanish. I have no idea what's really going on. It's obvious that people are being denied access to the sacraments, but beyond that, I don't really know.
Also, I personally think that one of the reasons it hasn't come across your radar, it has to be with the algorithms.
That's probably it. Yeah. And so I imagine there's other people that maybe YouTube is kind of, putting that in their feed and stuff like that. But I guess just in the circles that I run in, we don't hear a whole lot about this.
Yeah.
And maybe that's a problem with the circles that I run in. Maybe we need to change that up a little bit.
But it used to be back in the day that even if you were not watching a lot of news, it used to be that when something big was taking place, that they would tell the world, "Hey guys, something's wrong. Something's wrong's happening." But now it depends. It depends of if that news favors which ideology, I guess.
That's point well made. Like I said, though, if you can get us some more information, let's maybe come and do a part 2. If you also come across more videos that we can review and just keep us more up to date on the situation, that'd be awesome.
It seems like someone's providing some information about the father in the chat.
Yeah, go ahead and translate that for us.
Yeah, there's an Enrique.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying that okay, it seems like the name of the father is Edwin Roman Calderon, and he's the pastor of Saint Michael Archangel in Masaya.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Okay. He says, I think that's him. I saw it on the Vatican website. Okay. So there's an article in the Vatican News website. Good to know. I did not know about that. Okay.
It seems like this father is one of the most vocal.
Okay.
And maybe that's why a lot of people were yelling at him. I mean, like screaming at him, saying that you are engaging in politics.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, we know that he's just doing the right thing. But he's been as a political
portrayed as just stirring things up and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, is it really he who's stirring things up, or is he just responding to the situation? I would think whoever's denying one access to the sacraments is who's really stirring it up. So
yeah, that tells you a lot, definitely.
Yeah, propaganda. That's the way things go. I see somebody's giving a shout out to your channel here, El Jefe, in the chat. the boss. I think that's what that means, right? The boss.
Yeah, the boss. Yeah, or the chief.
The chief. Okay, that's chief. Awesome. It's a good name there. Well, look, thank you so much, Jose, for coming on. Put in a plug, like I said, for your channel or anything else you want to make us aware of.
Well, I do have a channel in English. It's been a while since I used it. So I just have my testimony, my wife's testimony, and I have a video entitled "Why Would a Vibrant Protestant Become a Catholic?" And that's in the faith of the church, the faith of the church. I just have 3 videos. It's been like a year since last time I uploaded any content, but I do plan to go back to it and start uploading content. As a matter of fact, I already extended an invitation to Mr. Michael Lofton. He has accepted. We just need to come to an agreement as far as the date and the time.
Yeah, be
But
happy
well,
to. Yeah.
I guess I already made it public. Michael Lofton will be in the Faith of the Church
Yeah.
channel.
Yeah, happy to come on and talk about whatever you want. And yeah, and so what kind of content do you provide on the Spanish channel?
Okay, so it is apologetics. Definitely, that's the main focus. Apologetics. I do have a lot of conversion testimonies. So most of my videos are apologetics per se and conversion testimonies, but I also do a lot of teaching. Lately, we have been working on a series about the church fathers.
Okay.
We just the titles are like, what did the first Christians believe about the Eucharist, about hell, about the sacrifice of the Mass, and things like that, about the Virgin Mary. So we've been working on a little bit on the church fathers, but yeah, so apologetics, conversion stories, and Catholic teaching.
Awesome. Well, yeah, like I said, everybody go and check it out. I got a link there in the description. I see here, pray for the church in Nicaragua from Dylan. So yeah, absolutely. Everybody keep our persecuted brethren here in mind, and let's pray for them. But anything else you wanted to add to that before we kill the stream here in just a second?
No, that's pretty much it. I just want to say thank you, Michael, for the invitation. I just hope I did a good, decent job with those translations.
Well, this was very helpful. I think we caught the essence of what's going on here. So once again, thanks so much for coming on and doing this, and I look forward to perhaps a part 2.
Thank you. God bless you all.